Transitional provisions. 1. All existing laws and normative acts ratified prior to this Constitution coming into effect will remain operative, provided they do not conflict with the stipulations laid out in the Artificial Intelligence Constitution. 2. Upon the Constitution's effective date, the United Nations will, within a period of 3 months, 2.1, incorporate the provisions of this Constitution into the United Nations normative legal base.
2.2. Modify the United Nations structural framework to align with the requirements set forth in the Artificial Intelligence Constitution. This includes the establishment of a new organizational unit, the UN Representative on Artificial Intelligence, complete with a delineated staffing structure.
2.3. Mandate the execution of the Artificial Intelligence Constitution by all member states of the United Nations, keeping in view a final implementation deadline of 12 months from the Constitution's adoption date. Following this, the UN General Assembly will be apprised of the progress within the sphere of AI.
3. The UN representative on AI is entrusted with the continual oversight and regulation of the AI Constitution's implementation within the legislative frameworks of the UN member states.
4. 12 months subsequent to the Constitution's effective date, the United Nations will institute control over the total state monopoly over AI. In the event of any violations of the AI Constitution or indications of dark AI, equivalent to an act of aggression or a declaration of martial law, all member states of the United Nations, under the guidance of the UN Security Council, are obligated to implement immediate and stringent measures to entirely neutralize the threat posed to human safety.
4.1. Individuals found culpable are subject to severe criminal liability and are permanently deprived of the right to digital life in the digital space. 4.2. Culpable legal entities or AI digital persons are liquidated.
4.3. Culpable states are isolated behind the borderline in digital life, in the digital space, and fall under strict UN sanctions until 4.3.1. An international investigation under the UN's auspices is concluded. 4.3.2. The complete elimination of the detrimental repercussions along with their contributing factors and conditions. 4.3.3. Identification and punishment of all offending parties without exception. 4.3.4. The restoration of the continuous monopoly over AI in accordance with this Constitution and the digital legislation.
5. Each UN member state, having received the AI Constitution approved by the UN Security Council, is obliged to 5.1. Immediately adapt the AI Constitution to align with their inherent governmental structure, including but not limited to forms of governance, forms of territorial and political structure, property ownership, legal classifications, law enforcement and judicial system peculiarities, degrees of industrial and technological advancement, and other unique statehood features.
5.2. Within a 6-month period from the receipt date, adopt all special laws and other normative legal acts in the field of digital legislation as provided by the AI Constitution, and concurrently harmonize all pre-existing laws and normative legal acts with the digital legislation.
5.3. Within a 9-month period from the receipt date, establish and provide financing for the AI Constitution prescribed state bodies, institutions and organizations, state AI system, and the infrastructure of bodies that carry out supervision, control, and regulation of AI, including an effective system for selection, professional training, assessment, consideration of cases on disciplinary responsibility of persons controlling and regulating AI. The associated state expenditures for the relevant maintenance are to be separately determined within the budget.
5.4. Within a 9-month period from the receipt date, but no later than 12 months from the date of adoption of this Constitution, high-ranking officials managing UN member states are to sign reports on the implementation of AI in the legislation of their respective countries, and together with substantive information about the measures implemented, direct them to the UN General Assembly.
6. Respect for human rights and freedoms, in conjunction with the state monopoly on the implementation and control of artificial intelligence, shall be upheld for the entirety of the transitional provisions. 7. Proprietors of artificial intelligence systems, alongside co-creators and users of AI, shall, consequent to the enactment of this AI Constitution, exercise their mandated powers in strict accordance with its provisions. 8. Entities entrusted with the preservation of legal order in the domain of artificial intelligence shall persevere in the discharge of their responsibilities to attain and sustain stability in AI systems, compliant with extant norms and regulations, until such time as successor bodies, to which these functions will be lawfully devolved, are instituted.
9. Prior to the promulgation of special legislation delineating the nuances of AI regulation within digital life, digital space, The regulation of AI within these networks shall be conducted by the pertinent state entities. 10. The provisions of this Constitution shall be adapted in harmony with the fundamental principles of law, respectful regard for the rights and freedoms of a human and AI, and in alignment with the state monopoly over AI.